2019 ಇಂದು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸನ್ನು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇನ್ ಪ್ರೊಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ DNA is initiated with the help of. ಸೊ DNA ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ DNA to RNA ಓಕೆ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ A. elongation factor, B. termination factor, C. rho factor and sigma factor. See, elongation ಮತ್ತು termination factors are actually involved in the elongation ಮತ್ತು termination process ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Rho factor ಮತ್ತು sigma factor ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Sigma factor is very much important for the initiation. So D is the correct option. Next ನೋಡೋಣ. Testa and tegmen of the seed coat. Okay, A. dried sepal, B. dried petal, C. dried integuments and D. dried tepals. Actually ಓವಿಲನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಂಟೆಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಔಟರ್ ಇಂಟೆಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ನರ್ ಇಂಟೆಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಗ್ಮೆನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೀಡ್ ಕೋಟ್. ಸೊ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ? ಸಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ರೈಡ್ ಇಂಟೆಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ, ದ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಗ್ರೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಟ್ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಶೋ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ demarcation between the spring wood and autumn wood. This is because of A. water stress is more, climatic conditions are not uniform throughout the year. The climatic conditions are uniform throughout the year and D. temperature is high. See, spring wood ಮತ್ತು autumn wood is mainly because of the variation in their the season or the climatic condition alva. So B is the correct one. Climatic condition is not uniform throughout the year, so in spring you can see the difference between the spring and autumn. You can see the difference in their cell division as well. So B is the correct option. Next nodi, identify the part labeled as M in the diagram given here. So illi M yav region adu? That is nothing but the satellite region. Okay, chromatid, these are actually chromatids. Okay, centromere is the center one, kinetochores are actually the adjacent one. So the labeled part is actually satellite. The option is A. Next nodi, some multinational companies have exploited the traditional knowledge of the indigenous people to produce commercially important bioproducts without their consent, and this is the example for A. bioprospecting, B. bioremediation, C. biopatent and D. biopiracy. It is actually under biopiracy, children. Biopatenting, bioremediation, bioprospecting are all actually under the product development as well as to patent it or to own it. But they have used also, exploited also, that is what is biopiracy is. Next nodi, from the given options, identify the correct combination of the population interaction that corresponds to the symbol given here. Okay, plus plus, minus minus, plus 0. Plus plus, it is mutualism, alva. Minus minus, it can happen when it comes to competition. Plus and 0, it is due to commensalism. So correct option ಏನಾಯಿತು? That is D. mutualism, competition and commensalism. Next nodi, in cloning vectors, antibiotic resistance genes are helpful for. Vector alli antibiotic ampicillin ಮತ್ತು tetracycline example ಆಗಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So they help for what ಅಂತ? A. selection of recombinants, B. cleaving of vector by REN, C. transfer of foreign gene into the host and D. making the host cell competent. So host cells na competent ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ you need not actually use the REN or the resistance gene, but it is important for you to identify ಯಾವುದು recombinant ಆಗಿದೆ ಯಾವುದು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದಲ್ವಾ. So it is to select the recombinants. The antibiotic resistant genes are helpful and A is the correct option. Next nodi, a person shows symptoms like sneezing, watery eyes, running nose and also difficulty in breathing on exposure to certain substances in air. Which type of antibodies produce? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ? It is the allergic reaction and IG is the best antibody alva that is produced in order to stop all this. So A is the correct one. Next one is, in amphibians and reptiles, the body temperature changes correspond to the external temperature. The organisms which show this kind of behavior response is termed as regulators, conformers, partial regulators and thermophiles. Regulators andre they are actually able to maintain their internal body temperature. Conformers are the one that actually their body temperature varies based on the environment, and the option is B. Partial regulators only they can still regulate, after some time they cannot tolerate and they escape that particular condition. Okay, and thermophiles are those that live in higher temperature. So B is the correct option. Next one nodi, during chemiosmotic synthesis of ATP, A. Proton gradient is not required. B. Protons accumulate within the lumen of the thylakoid. C. Protons accumulate in the intermembrane space of the chloroplast. D. Protons accumulate in the inner membrane space of mitochondria. Thylakoid idre, here it is actually the synthesis alva. So H plus concentration ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲಿ inside the thylakoid. So this is the lumen region. So option ಏನಾಯಿತು, the proton accumulate in the lumen region of the thylakoid. So B is the correct option. Next one nodi, a body after attaining sexual maturity shows muscular growth, okay, and growth of the facial and axillary hairs, aggressiveness, low pitch of voice, and these changes are the attributes, okay, of the action of which hormone anta? A. Testosterone, B. Glucagon, C. Estrogen, and D. Secretin. It is due to the testosterone which is responsible for the secondary sexual character in male. Next nodi, which of the following symbol used in human pedigree analysis identify the symbol that denotes consanguineous marriage, andre the marriage that is between the relatives, okay. A, B, C and D, when it is double, okay, line irutte between the male and female, it is actually indicating that it is the relation, the mating or the marriage that is between the relatives. So A is the correct option. Next nodi, which one of the following nitrogen base is found only in DNA? DNA ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯಾವುದು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ? ಅಡೆನಿನ್ ಇದೆ, ಗ್ವಾನಿನ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೈಟೋಸಿನ್ ಇದೆ, ಥೈಮಿನ್ ಇದೆ. Adenine, guanine, cytosine you can see even in RNA, alva? But thymine is alone present in DNA. In RNA it has got actually uracil. Next nodi, if a normal menstruating woman menses occurs, okay, on 5th April, what will be the expected date of ovulation anta? You know, 14th day approximately it is the menses, and 5th April is the first day. Then 5th to 14th day will be somewhere around 5th to 15 is 10 days, then 10 plus 5 or 4 is actually somewhere around 19th. So near date ellide illi 18th April. So this is the right one. Next nodi, identify the cells represents the P, Q, R as in the given. Idu P, this is Q, this is R and this is S. Aita? P is actually primary spermatocytes, Q is the secondary spermatocytes, R is the spermatids and S is the spermatozoa. So P, Q, R, S. So A is the correct option. Next nodi, in some plants stigma and anther mature at different time because A, it facilitates self-pollination, it facilitates cross-pollination, it attracts pollinators, it prevents the cross-pollination, it facilitates the cross-pollination. Male matte female parts mature at different stage andaga. Whenever they mature, they are actually susceptible or they accept only at that particular time when they receive, you know, respective gametes. So illi it is facilitating the cross-pollination. Question nodi, identify the correct order of steps involved in the artificial hybridization in the plants. A, rebagging, artificial pollination, bagging and emasculation. B. Bagging, artificial pollination, rebagging and emasculation. C. Artificial pollination, emasculation, rebagging and bagging. D. Emasculation, bagging, artificial pollination and rebagging. D is the correct one. Emasculation and the removal of anthers. Bagging andre covering the stigma. Artificial pollination andre dusting the stigma. Again covering is rebagging. So D is the correct option. So you happen to see all these questions from 2019. There are so many other questions which are also asked, but the major important questions are discussed here, and I request you also to analyze how the question is. So illi 2019 alli genetics in ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದ ಹೈಯರ್ ವೇಟೇಜ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೂ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ವೇಟೇಜ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ when you go through the previous year questions as well.